Josie is one of LGBT Foundation's newest volunteers. She joined the Rainbow Brew Buddies team in April 2020. Rainbow Brew Buddies is a service that was started in response to COVID-19, but I'll let her explain a little bit more.
Hi Josie,
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming out and joining us for Volunteers Week, celebrating volunteers across LGBT Foundation.
Exciting.
So what volunteer role do you do here at the Foundation?
I'm a Rainbow Brew Buddy, which I started about this time last year. So Rainbow Brew Buddies is basically a befriending service where you have just one, well, some people have more than one buddy, but you have a buddy which you call once a week for between 6 and 8 weeks, helping people with isolation and loneliness, really. So talking about anything, just being sort of a friendly ear to support people in the community.
Great, and what do you like about volunteering with us?
I've really enjoyed the role. Like it's a really good experience because I think I want to work more in sort of mental health and like community organising and stuff in the future. So that's been brilliant. The connection as well with the people, I've been really fortunate to have buddies that I get along really well with, so that's been great. And I think just being part of the community and being able to give back. I'm quite fortunate that I've not really experienced much like homophobia or prejudice in my life as a queer person, so being able to sort of use that privilege and like help with the people who are struggling in the community is just gorgeous, really. And like the other people who volunteer are brilliant. So
great. And what
really nice.
Do you have quite a good connection with your volunteer team?
Yeah, we do. So we've not got to meet in person yet, which is a shame.
Yeah. Hopefully
soon. But we have sort of semi-regular Zoom supervisions, and it's often the same faces showing up, and they're just lovely. There's like a really nice range of ages and backgrounds, so it feels really nice.
Great. Yeah. And why do you think volunteering is important to you?
I think it kind of links back to what I was just saying about sort of my own privilege and like where I want to go with my career as well. Like if I've got the time to give back to the community, like why wouldn't you?
And how do you think the pandemic is going to affect the Rainbow Brew Buddies service?
We started during the pandemic. I think it was either in March or April last year that it sort of got up and running. And that was partly because of a bigger demand for, well, people feeling more isolated. So I guess hopefully as we come out of lockdown, like statistically there will be less people experiencing isolation, but equally it's not going to be something that just goes away. And I think in the society that we live in anyway, isolation is a real issue. So I imagine there will keep being a demand for it, and hopefully there'll be more volunteers as it grows.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate everything you do for us, and just thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for being such a welcoming team as well. It's brilliant.
Oh, lovely.
Laurie manages our Pride in Ageing programme, which was launched by Sarah and McKellen in June 2019. Let's hear from them and find out why they think volunteering is so important at LGBT Foundation.
Hi Laurie.
Hello.
Thanks so much for joining us today. I wanted to start by asking you a bit about the volunteers that you supervise and look after at the Foundation.
So I manage a number of teams of volunteers. One of them is our Rainbow Brew Buddies volunteers. And I manage the Pride in Ageing programme, and there's a number of volunteer teams within that programme.
And why do you think volunteering is important?
Volunteering is important for our community because it helps people to kind of connect to us, and it's just really lovely that people want to kind of give their time to us as LGBT Foundation.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for LGBT Foundation because there's such a diverse range of people volunteering for
Absolutely.
us, from people from the LGBT community in Manchester and across the country, to LGBT allies as well who really want to give something back to the LGBT community. So everyone who gives their time, we're just so thankful for that.
Absolutely. And I, as a sort of former volunteer programme manager, I've also seen whole families come to volunteer over Pride and travelling really far distances just to come and get involved with the community. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, volunteers really extend our visibility into the community so much. And as well as that, and through the kind of roles they do, be it kind of being out in the village as part of Village Angels, or picking up the phone on our helpline, for example, or just marching with us at Pride, they really give us that extended visibility into the community.
Like an extended family, really, aren't they?
They are, but I think we also learn a lot from our volunteers as well. So they kind of bring their own stories with them and their own experiences, their own passions.
and skills and talents, and
Yep.
so that, you know, amongst the volunteer base there's so many different kind of diversity of skills as well. What do you love about volunteers?
The passion and energy that they bring, it just, you know, it's one of my favourite parts of the week, kind of
Yeah.
working with our volunteer teams,
Yeah.
and whether it be kind of having a meeting with them to kind of work out what's next for this area of work,
Yeah.
or kind of the feedback from them about the work that they've been doing. You know, I think it's that energy and that passion that they bring which just, you know, adds so much to our work at LGBT Foundation.
It lifts our spirits, doesn't it?
It does.
I would say, working with volunteers, and you know, because it's different people all the time. Everybody that comes in is really keen and enthusiastic, and that, you know, if we're working really hard as well, that gives us a boost and reminds us how and why we're doing what we're doing, basically.
Definitely.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for talking with me today, Laurie.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Ian is one of our longest standing volunteers at LGBT Foundation, and the amount of roles he's had can't be counted on both hands. We sat down with him in Sackville Gardens to understand why he likes volunteering with LGBT Foundation so much.
Hi.
Hello, Ian.
Hi there, Ria.
Thank you for coming along with us today.
You are
and
welcome.
celebrating volunteering at LGBT Foundation.
Yeah, pleasure.
So, what volunteer role do you do at LGBT Foundation?
The primary one is on the archive team, which normally work over at Central Library. That includes cataloguing the various subject areas of the LGBT Foundation archive, and plus the trans forum archive as well. It also gives the capacity for researchers, including university researchers, to pop in to have a look at any of the material they wish to look at in connection with the studies. We have handling sessions every so often where the public can have a look at various areas. Coupled with the archive project is the oral history project. The oral history questions include aspects such as when they came out, or in the case of transitioning side of it, if they have been, their experiences of reactions from family, friends, etc., any experiences of the scene, activism, also the care sector, the health sector, and the financial sector as well. They've been very successful. We've had some really good interviews. Also, a member of the Pride in Ageing advisory group as well, which we focus on older LGBTQ 50 plus, generally speaking. Also, the Rainbow Buddies project as well. I also represent the foundation on Wigan Pride Committee, and also a joint community lead on that as well. And also I have been done various things in the past of distributing the safe sex packs out northwest when it was in operation, and of course taking part in Pride with the parade, the vigil, the cafe, the expo, you name it, the various aspects of that.
So, you've done so many roles with us over the years.
Yeah, sure,
Ian.
yeah.
So, can you tell us a bit about why you love volunteering with LGBT Foundation?
Yeah, surely. Yeah. The foundation is one of the key organisations for the LGBTQ community. It gives a sense of putting a bit back into the community. You get the teamwork, the friendliness, generally a sense of belonging as well too.
And why do you think volunteering is important at LGBT Foundation?
I would say primarily a sense of doing, helping. For some people, that's perhaps in the job market, it can be added to their CV as well. Again, it can give a sense of putting back in, into the community as well. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you for coming out on this grey day. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure.
LGBT Foundation simply couldn't run without its volunteers. Whether you volunteer for us once a week or once a year, thank you from all of us.